So we'll start with data summarization. In Python programming. Okay. So when I say data summarization, what does it mean? We all have seen May 2025 paid off 10 records. If I run this program, I can see the 10 records from this data set. Now, how to summarize the data? I want to summarize this data made underscore 2025. I want to take the variable name, which is called customer ID. Now, I want to see the count for this. If I run the program, it shows me it is an integer field and the total count is 5112. If I take along with the field name called age, and I want to see the mean. When I say mean of age, it is going to give me the average age. It's a floating value. Average age is 50.2143. If I say I want to go with the column name spent underscore amount, and I want to say sum of this, I can see here the total sum which is coming to 1656880. Now, if I say I want to see mean of spend amount, I can see the minimum spend which is $1.1. If I say max of spend, I can see the maximum spend which is coming to $11,814. Now, this is something called straight how to go for summarizing the data. We also write this example by putting this way. We write this multiple times to present here one by one. So we do it for mean, we do it for max. Now, if I run this program, I can see all this output, which is called count, which is called your average age, which is called your total spend, minimum spend, maximum spend. Now, next is coming how to go for summarizing the data. What is the summarization? I want to see get company wise count of customer base. Now, this is the question which we need to answer now. To answer this question, what we will do, let's say I want to go for creating this called summary. How will I go for summary? From this table. The function name is called group
Group.
by bracket start and bracket close. In this group by, I want to go for selecting the variable which name is company here. Now, how do you want to show this company? You
Dot
want to show
count.
this company, comma, you will be first use as underscore index is equal to false. Why it is going to be? Because when you go for making a group by from the row label, to avoid this row label calculation, you have to go for using as what? As index is equal to false. Now, how this aggregation is going to happen? The aggregation is going to happen, let's say the variable name which you want to see it called subscriber. This is the variable name which will come as subscriber as what you would be taking this by your field name which is called customer ID. How do you want to present this customer ID? You would be getting this as count and bracket close. The moment you close this bracket here and you want to call this table name as May 2025 summary, the output comes this where I got the error. I got this error because where I did this error. It is all looking fine.
Stop.
Oh, sorry. This is called the field name. I'm not supposed to put this. It's the field name. If I run this query, I can see my output is coming by company wise total subscriber base here. Now the next question is coming how to get company and state code wise. If I want to go for looking at company and state code wise, or let's say get state code and company wise total customer base. So how will you go for looking at this output? Get state code and companies. What is the total customer base? What do you write here? You write made underscore
2025 summary 1.
2025 summary. I'll go for made underscore
Mm,
2025 is the table name. The function which I want to use as what called? Group by
Group
bracket start bracket close. Inside this, how do you want to go for bracketing this? You'll be going for two variables. So what do you write here? In the square bracket, first field name is state
it
underscore code. Then second field name is company, right?
makes
Now,
false.
now what we'll write here, you will be writing here as underscore index is equal to false. Then
Dot
dot aggregate. What you will be aggregate function is going to use here is going to be subscriber. I'll say subs is equal to, how would you go for
customer
giving this bracket? You would be giving this bracket start, close, and one more bracket close here. You would be calling the field name is going to be
ID count.
customer ID as what? You would be taking this as count here. Does it make sense? Now, if you run this program, what is the output is coming? By state code, by company wise, your subscriber base are coming. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Right?
Yes.
Now the question is coming, get state underscore code, company wise, total base, total widgets, total spent, or you can say average age and total spent. Now these all you want to get it from this output as a summary. So how do you write this program? Made 2025 underscore summary. Then made underscore 2025 dot group
Group
by bracket start. What will you select here? You will be
certificate.
selecting the column company, state code and company wise. Then
Agent.
you'll be using as index is equal to false. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you'll close the bracket, use the function called aggregate. How do you want to aggregate this value here? You want to create the first field name is called
Tops
Total
customer.
base.
subscriber.
Total.
Second
Customer.
field name, third field name, and fourth field name. Then you have to
Yes.
close the bracket. Yes or no?
Mm.
First
Yes.
field name is subscriber. Second field name is what?
Average age.
Average
Average
age.
age.
What will
Age
take
mean.
here? Age.
Age.
And
Age.
what
Mean.
will write here? The aggregation?
Mean.
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 Then you will write
Total.
what?
Total
Total
widget.
Total
underscore
visits.
widget.
Widgets.
What will take here? The
Number
field
of
name?
trips. Number of trips.
Number
Number.
of trips.
Some.
Yes or no? What will write here? Sum.
Some.
Some.
Then you write what here? Hey guys, please go on mute. Total spent. And which field will be taking here, guys?
Spend amount. Some.
Is going to be spend amount as sum. If you do this, ultimately you get your output which is coming. If you run this program, what is happening? State code, company wise, subscriber, averages, total widgets, and total spends is coming. Does it make sense to all of you guys? How to go for summarizing the data? Everyone,
Yes.
right? Clear now? Right. Now I'll go for, we'll start with data summarization is over. Now let's start with if then conditional variable. Okay. So you run the program. How to go for if then conditional variable? Here is an example. First of all, we have made underscore 2025 dot columns dot values. The moment I run this program, let me add multiple rows to this. Now I use something called import pandas as pd, import numpy as np, keep underscore where. I want to select the variable. Hey guys, I'm writing this code multiple times in between. The reason why, the more I write, you understand the practicality of it, and you also feel confident. I can also write the same way. That is the reason why I'm repeating. I'm putting this task to myself. If I could write, why can't you then? So please make this practice as long as you can. Now I want to go for the next variable, which is called town. Then I want to go for the variable called number of trips. And the last variable I want to take it here, that is called spent amount, right? So when I create this, I'll create here made underscore select, taking data from what? Made underscore 2025. In the square bracket, I can keep these are the variables, right? Now, if I call this table with head of 10 records, I can see only those variables have been selected. Now, I want to go for creating, I'll say create age bucket. So how do you go for creating the age bucket? Now let me put this age bucket this way. Age greater equal to 60, then call this as
Old age.
old age. Now age greater than equal to 50, then you
Mid
call
old.
this as mid old age. Then age greater than equal to
40.
40, then you call them as mid
Yeah.
age. Call them as mid age. Age greater than equal to 20 or 30, maybe 20, then you call them as young
Young.
age. So this is something you want to create an age bucket. Now the question is coming, how will you apply this to this program, this dataset which you created now? To creating this, I would be defining a user defined function. Define, I will say age underscore bucket. And which variable is going to apply for? It is going to apply on the age bucket, age field. Now what condition to give? If I will say the age, I want to give this condition. If it is
60. Say
less
60.
than, I'll say 20, or less than, I'll say 40, because last condition is what? 40, right? Less than 40. How do I want to return this value? I want to return the value to this as young age. Same way, I will write here if means else if I'll put age less than, I'll say 50. How do I want to return the value? I want to return this value as called
Mid age.
mid age. Again, I'll say else if age, which is less than 60, I want to return the value which is called mid old age. Now I can call this. Now the last condition, or you will go for the, if it is going to be mid less than 60, mid old age. Otherwise, the last condition, what you want to give it here, guys, you can say else
Return old age.
return to what? Old hyphen age. Is this clear now, guys? If I run this, I created my own function which is called age bucket. Now, how to apply this age bucket? I will be going for my dataset which I created called made select. Now, in this made select dataset, I want to go for creating a new variable that is called
Age.
customer
Age
age
bucket.
bucket. This is the variable I want to create now, new variable. How do I want to
Yes.
create this? In
Next.
this, I would be applying, the column name is going to be age.
Dot apply age bucket.
Dot apply. I will use the function name called age
Mm.
bucket here, right? Now, when I call this program, what is happening here? Dot head of 100 to check it. Let me run this program. What I see here, my age bucket has been created. Can you see this, guys? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we'll do another call customer segment. This is called create customer segment. So how do you go for creating this customer segment here? The customer segment is that if the spent underscore amount greater or equal to $1,000, then we will call this as a premier customer. Okay. Now the spent amount greater than equal to $500, I want to call them as advanced customer. Now the spend amount which is greater than equals to greater than zero, how do you want to call this? You want to call them as retail customer. Now you can go and close the bracket. How do you go for creating your function here? You would be writing this. Now this is going to what, guys? You are going to create this as
Customer segment.
customer underscore segment. On which field you want to apply this? You want to
Spend
apply
amount.
this on which field?
Spend amount.
Spent amount. Now you'll be applying this on spend amount. How will you give a condition? Spend amount.
Spend 1,000. Then
Let's say spend amount. Shall we go ahead and do this opposite direction?
yes,
Greater than
0.
1,000. We'll call
1,000.
this as what?
Premier
Premier. Now spend amount greater than
500.
500. How do you want to call this?
Advance.
Advance. Else you want to return the value to what?
Retail.
Right. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone? Right.
Yes.
So what we'll do now? The table name is what? Made
Limit.
select. The new variable name which you want to call this as called customer
Custom.
segment. Right. Equals to which table? Made select table. Which is the column?
Spend amount.
Spent amount. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Dot. What you want to
Apply.
apply here, guys? Apply the function name is what?
Customer segment.
Spend amount. Customer
Dot head of 100. If you run this query, where I got the error, guys, can you tell me where I did a mistake here?
A double dot.
Dot apply.
segment.
Dot apply.
If I run this query, what is happening here? I see all the customers retail, advance is also coming, premier is also coming. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys, everyone?
Yes.
Right. Now, what we will do here, we'll give another example too. We'll talk about nested if conditions. What do you call, guys, here? Nested if conditions, right? So for nested if conditions, we will be using this here. So let me go to clear all the cell value. For nested if condition, what we will do here, I'll go back to nested case when statement data, where it is given product sales data, right? So let me go and read this data: product, city, price, and units given. Now let's go for reading this table to what? My Python environment. You write import pandas as pt, import numpy as np, give file underscore path is equal to r, give the file path, go back to the folder, right click, rename, copy this dot xlsx. Now the table name is prod underscore sales, pd dot read underscore excel bracket start. You can say file path and you will write sheet underscore name. Do you remember the sheet name, guys? Hey guys, anyone? No? Let me try. Oh, it's coming. Perfect. Now what condition we want to give? Product equals to apple and city equals to daily. Then 0.40 into price as a discount. Are you getting this, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. If it is Chennai, 0.30. If it is Dell, the product is Dell. It is Mumbai. Give 50% discount. If it is Bhubaneswar, give 20% discount if it is HP and city is equal to, let's say, Bangalore and Chennai. Okay. So you want to give a discount for 20%, you want to give a discount for 10%. Is that clear now, guys? How to go for giving this? Everyone, are you getting this?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how
Yes,
to
sir.
go for giving this
Yes, sir.
condition? How to go for giving this condition? So we'll create here function called calculated underscore discount, on which field you would be applying this at the row level calculations. On which row you want to give a condition, there is a field name called
Price.
no, product. You want to
Product.
calculate based on the product, and the row value of what you would be giving this as product is the field name, right? Same way, you want to do the row level calculation for also you have three fields, right? One is called city, and for this the field name is city, called city. Then you will go for applying on price. The field name is price here. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Right? Now the condition is that if product is equal to, given the product name is what? Apple.
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 What condition you want to give it here? If
Again.
city is
City.
equal to,
Delhi.
you want to
Delhi.
go for
Delhi.
Delhi. Are you getting this? If city is equal to Delhi, now how do you want to return this?
Price.
Price into 0.4.
This is
Price
going to
into 0.
0.40 into the field name is what? Price.
Price.
Row level calculation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, if it is not, are you getting this, guys? Then
Yes.
Yes.
you will say else if city is equal to what?
Chennai.
Chennai. What's the discount you want to give it here?
0.3.
3,
2.34.
right? Now what do you
Yes.
give here?
Else
L
return
return as
price.
what?
Only price.
0. Nothing,
0.
right? Now the same condition will be applying here. Same condition will be applying here. This one will go as what? Else if. This one will also go as what? Else if. Yes or no? This time the product is going to what?
Delhi.
L. City is going to what?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Price is what?
0.5.
50%. 50%. Yes or no?
Yes.
Del for Bhubaneswar.
Bhubaneswar.
What's the discount you want to give it here for?
0.2.
0.20.
2.
Right. This is going to be
HP.
for
Bangalore.
right. What the discount is coming here, guys?
0.20.
0.20. Then is going for what? Chennai. What discount you want to give it here?
110. 0.1.
Is this clear now, guys? Everyone? Right? Now you will go for writing this. Else you will return as 0. Clear now? So we have created a function which is going to applicable on what? The table name is called prod underscore sales. Now in this table, what will you do here? You want to create a new field called discount, right? Right like this, discount. And how do you do this? You will be doing this is equal to prod sales table dot, you will write apply, bracket start. Which is the field you will be applying here?
Product city price.
Calculate discount, where you will say axis is equal to 1. Now you run this program and see what is happening. If I run this program, does it work with the discount, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. Now you create this here, a new column called discounted amount, the discount. We call this as actual selling price. Actual selling price. How would you go for doing this, guys? Prod sales. What will you do now? You have given discount,
Price minus discount.
right? So you will say, you'll go for the field name called price minus,
Prod sale discount.
now let's calculate here the sales. How do you calculate the sales, guys?
Price into unit.
Into discount.
Price into
Yes.
units.
You will have this. One is units to multiply the actual selling price. If you run this query, did you get all the output is coming, guys? Everyone, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Fine. So what we will do here, we understand how to go for writing next, how to go for writing the nested do loop conditions in Python programming. What we will do next is how to go for update table. We'll talk about updating dataset. We'll also talk about deleting dataset. We'll also talk about transposing dataset. Okay. Now we'll move on to updating dataset. What does it mean? Now we have a table. Let me go ahead. Hmm. Right. So we have a table. Let's say I want to call this table name called made update. Okay. Now when I say made update, when I say made update, run this program, I see customer ID, company, gender, age, state code, number of trees, and spend amount is given here. Now the question is coming, how to go for updating the table, right? So what I'll update here, let me show you an example. In the made update, I want to update the gender field. If it is female, I want to call them as F. If it is male, I want to call them as M. If it is unisex, I want to call them as U. So how will I go for doing this? Made update is a table name. I'll be using the function called LOC, line of control, where I want to go for selecting from made update table. The variable name is gender, bracket close, where gender is given as female. It is very much case sensitive, right? Then I want to call the field gender, right? How do I want to call this gender? I want to call this equals to only capital F. This is how I have to write the program multiple times over here. If it is male, I want to call this as M. If it is unisex, I want to call this as U. Now, if I go and call this table head of 100, now let's see what is happening. You can see female has been updated by F, male has been updated by M, and you can see the values are coming here. Same way, let's do doctor made space plus to made plus doctor dot radius to doctor underscore radius. So how to go for applying this in the same table? If I want to do it here, guys, you can answer me too. How to answer this question, guys? What will say here? If it is, the value is what?
Plus
Email and gender.
Right?
Made plus.
Mid plus.
What do you want to call this here?
Company.
Made underscore plus. Okay. Then you copy the same thing over here. What do you want to call this? If it is
Doctor
doctor
it
radius.
is.
How do you want to call this, guys? Underscore radius. Shall I run this query and see what is happening? Yes, I can see that. Wherever made space plus was made plus, doctor dot radius has been doctor radius. Is this clear to all of you guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll go for delete query. For delete query also, what will I do here? I'll select the same variables. I call this table name. I want to call this as delete. Now, if I run this query, I can see my output is coming for made delete. In made delete, to delete the entire table, what I'll write here? I'll just write del your table name. That's it. If I run this program, what is happening? This table has been deleted. Now, if I go and call this table, it will show the object is not defined because the entire table has been deleted. However, we will talk about deleting records based on criteria. What does it mean? Here is an example how to delete records based on the criteria. For deleting records based on criteria, let's say I have given this query where I have created my table made delete. Now in this, I want to give a criteria and I call this delete records is a criteria name. What is that I want to delete from the table? I want to say made underscore delete. In this, I will close the bracket here where I want to call the table name is made delete and I want to go for company where I want to say that company is equal to, let's say Apollo is the first condition. I want to give another condition here which is going to be made delete gender is equal to female. So I want to give these two conditions to delete the records. Then I want to give it here dot index. Why I'm giving index? Because it's going to impact the row number also. Now, since I have table this called made delete, I can use drop function. In the drop, I can call the criteria that is called delete records. And I can see here in place is equal to true. Why I'm giving in place is equal to true? Because it is going to delete the variable values from the given
Original.
criteria. If I say just run the query, what is it happening? It is printing the output after deleting all the records which is given in the criteria. Right? This the output is coming. This is how we can go for deleting records based on the criteria. First, you create the criteria given index, then you call this criteria into drop and in place is equal to true. That's how you can get the output here. Now, the last part is all about how to go for transposing the data, right? Transposing from rows to column and transposing from column to rows. So how will you go for transposing data? So we'll take a table and we'll do it from there. You have given a data called pivot, unpivot. Now let's look at this table here. It is given student score, student name, subject, SQL, SAS, Python, Tableau, machine learning, and AI. I want to convert those subjects, which is around how many subjects? 6 subjects. I want to convert them into rows. That means I'm going to create a table having 3 columns, student name, subject, and the score after transposing from column to rows. So how to go for doing this? Now let me go ahead copy this here. I write import pandas as PD, import numpy as np, file underscore path. I can give the file path from here. Then I can right click, rename .xls6. Then I can go for creating this as called student underscore score, which is pd dot read underscore excel file, bracket start. I'll go for the file path. I'll put sheet underscore name, where the sheet name I want to put it as score underscore one. I'll be putting this as called score underscore one. Now I want to call this table here. When I run this program, I see student name, subject, SAS, SQL, Python, Tableau, machine learning, AI. These the values are coming. Now, how to convert those column to rows? Now, transposing columns into rows. So for doing that, what function will be applying? Now let's do this here.
Melt.
I'll go for student score version 1, taking the data from student score. There's a function called melt function. So let me write melt function. Here, what I want to constant, my student name is going to constant. So I will use id underscore vars, which is equals to the field name is going to be student underscore name.
Value
Then,
bars.
then I want to go for the var underscore name. What is the variable name which is going to keep this? It is going to be, the variable name is going to be, I want to give it as applications. Then I want to go for defining my value underscore name. The value underscore name is going to create this as called score, or you can give it to marks also. Now, if you call student score version 1, what is it happening? It has been transposed from column to rows, which is coming from 6 to 636, which is the value which is coming here. Does it make sense, guys? Everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. Now, okay. Now, what we will do here, we will transposing rows to column. Here is an example. We'll talk about transposing rows to column. Okay. So how would you go for applying this? Here is an example. The same program as above. I copy this and I paste it. I will be going for reading the data from product sales. Okay. So let me write it here. The table name is called prod underscore sales. What sheet name would be getting here? Prod underscore sales. I write prod underscore sales. Now let me call this table here, which is going to have, okay, now product, city, units. I want to get city from rows to column. To converting rows to column, what will I do here? I will say version 1, this. Here, the function name is called pivot bracket start. In this, what you want to do here, what field you want to go for keeping this as constant, right? So keeping this as a constant, how would you go for doing this? Now let me give this example to you. So for creating this, the first field is going to product, which is going to constant. So I will be using here is my index. Index, the field which is not going to change, which is going to my product field. Then what you want to columns? I want to make columns to my variable name, which is going to be, what is the field name? Called city in the columns. Now I want to go for creating as values, where I want to take the field name as called units, right? So this is where I can go for creating this. Then I'll be using, there's a function called fill NA. If there is a blank, is going to fill this by blank here. That is called fill NA. Then I want to go for, since it's going rows to column, I'll use reset underscore index bracket start close. Now I want to call this table name version 1. What is happening? It is converting from rows to column. Ultimately, those 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities has gone to column. By 4 products, 6 into 4 is going to 24. It was the number of rows has been converted to only 4 observations now. Does it make sense to all of you guys how to present this? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Clear? So this is how we converted into rows to column and column to rows. Now we have a test here. The test is given student year wise, company wise, how much they scored. Now you want to convert student year, company wise, score column to rows and rows to column. You also replicate the same thing. What will you do here? To go for this test, I will be using this here. Let's go for called transposing test. Now this is something, guys, I want you to answer how to go for doing this. Okay, what is the table name we want to read now? Score 2. So I'll call this as score underscore 2. Right? Now you can say student performance. Now you can see the table which is coming here. Okay. Now what we want to do here, let's say 10 of 10. What you want to do here, guys, you want to go for student name year wise company. You want to get the subject from column to rows. How will you go for doing this? How will you go for doing this?
Student
Dot
melt
melt. What is the next syntax you'll be writing here?
ID verse.
in ID vars.
ID bars.
ID underscore
Verse.
VATs. Then equals to, what will
Student.
write here?
Student name, year, company.
Student name.
You will write what? Student
Student
name. You
Year.
will go for
Year.
year. What will write
Company.
here?
Company.
Company.
Company. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, then what you write here?
Subject.
Where.
Van name.
Name,
Van
subject.
name.
Applications.
Application.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then what you write here?
Value name scores.
Value.
Is equal to what?
Score.
Score.
That's it.
Variable.
You call this here. Did you get the output is coming? How many records are going to come now? Tell me. How many records will come? Difficult to say that, na?
Yes, sir.
Everyone is coming around 144 records. Understood? How? This is how many records are there? 24
24.
24.
into what? 6. 24 6 are what? 144. Is it coming?
Yes, sir.
Now, how to bring company application remains same, company from rows to column? How to do that? Transposing companies from rows to column.
Pivot.
Dot pivot.
This is called version 2 from version 1. What light here?
Pivot.
Pivot.
Dot pivot bracket start. What light
Index.
here?
Index.
Index.
Index. Index with what?
Student name.
Student name, year.
Year.
Student
Name and
name,
year.
And year.
year, and what? Application.
Applications.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. What is next?
Columns.
Columns.
Columns
Company.
equals to
Is equal
what?
to company.
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 Then
Values.
Value.
Values. Score.
Value is equal to score.
Score.
values equals to,
Score.
Score.
right. Am I missing anything? Dot
Fill
fill
in.
in.
ELNA.
What does it mean? If there is any blank,
there
it is
is
going to
any
be
blank.
managed. Then what is the next?
Reset
Index.
index. Reset index.
And you want to call this table name as what? Does it work, guys? Everyone? It is for City and HSBC only, the two companies. In the data, it is also City and HSBC. Both are going from rows to column. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.